What's up, superstars? Back with another video. You got Superstar Rob, and you got Superstar Bob Sales this time next year. How you doing, Bob? You got the MMA gloves with me today, beating me up every single time. Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget. Become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, hit the bell notification button to get every single video, every single day. We do not miss. Sir Bob Sales knows this because he is competing for those firsts all the time. So he knows that every single day we're dropping a video, and today we couldn't be happier to have him on. Also, Superstar VIP, $2.99 a month to start beside your name. Access to our spreadsheets, giveaways. Want to bring as much utility as possible to the VIP membership. Anyone, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Or we got the Walmart of Discords in the description below. Join our Discord. Join the community of superstars there. You can have a discussion about all your favorite projects, even beyond the ones that we don't cover. You know, people are asking for Elmon X and Quid, for example. Like, we don't cover those projects, but we'll give you a chat room and a space to discuss with other superstars if you're interested. And we've also rolled out the Superstar Utility Program. We're very happy to do this. If you support us through either being a VIP member, minting a Cryptoy with our link below, Bob Sales, he has it right there. Because if you buy one of our Superstar Money hats, you could also get stars for this month's draw. We want to make this as inclusive as possible. So you have to reach out to me if you think there's something missing, if you feel like you deserve a star. I have a spreadsheet that you could find in the Discord that has every name and how many stars are assigned to them. You have to let me know so I make sure you get your stars, and we'll work with you in order to make sure that you get a chance at the raffle. And the chance you get a prize, either a Superstar Money hat, the second generation. Bob Sales has the OG one, Superstar Money. Yeah, the Superstar Money shirt. Again. Yeah, which is something that we had at our decon. We had a bunch of them. We gave a few of them away, but we have more to give away. And up to 5 Cryptoys cubes actually donated by Cryptoys themselves. So Cryptoys themselves are going to gift it to you if you win this prize. So yeah, Superstar Bob Sales, how you doing today?
Hello, you all right? It's good to see you again. It's been a while.
It's been a while. The last time we did this was when Joe was on vacation. The last time. I want you to just quickly introduce yourself to those who may not know you. Who is Superstar Bob Sales?
So basically, I would say I've been in Veve for a year and a half, maybe 2. And I've started the content probably 6 months in the journey. And it was more of a workings man channel, I would call it, if that makes sense. So I was starting from probably 200 gems and just worked my way up along the way. And then ever since, the channel's just been through different phases, if you like for instance, I used to do videos where it was just like a different topic, tried to be as random as possible each day. And then I started to get a bit carried away with the drop histories. Then I turned into old rhubarb somewhere along the line. and now I'm a bit of everything. I've even got a Titanic video on there somewhere. So
yeah, I guess there's no, especially when it comes to making content, there's no reason to only do one type of content. You just do whatever you like, right? Because I always say, if you're not having fun, you're probably not going to make the content. You have to have fun first. So if something interests you, make a video on it, because that's going to keep you making content. It's better than not making it, right?
Yeah. Well, for me, I've always been interested in the Titanic, and then when the Titan sub happened and all that sort of stuff, it resonated with me. And because over the years I'd always paid attention to it, I always thought that maybe there was something I could add. So yeah, and that took me 3 days. That video, that took a while.
Yeah. I remember when you posted that one too. And like, exactly, if that's what interests you, why not? And of course, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go over to Bob Sales this time next year. Find his YouTube channel. He also has Twitter. You can find him on Twitter. I guess I have to call that X now. Supposedly it's not Twitter anymore.
Yeah, X.
Now it's X.
Why they done that?
Yeah, I guess it's in line with like Elon Musk's branding, because everything's SpaceX, right? Everything like that. But anyways, make sure you go on YouTube, find Bob Sales this time next year. Many of you probably already know him, but definitely give him subs. He's at 361 subs. He's been putting in the work. He deserves more. So the Superstar fan needs to support him like how he supports us. And definitely, if you can, go give him a sub. Okay, so we'll start off with Superstar Money's Twitter news first, or X news first. I gotta get used to that now. I just want to shout out the CEO of Cryptoys, Will. Basically, what he's saying in this is that a lot of people have been asking questions about like their progress. Like you kind of like the OUP has like those red circles that haven't been updated since February. Like
Yeah.
Cryptoid, like people, a lot of people are asking them like, where are you on your roadmap? When are we going to be seeing some of these things? I don't really know too much exactly how the format's going to look, but they did say that they're going to share this week some kind of, I guess, updated roadmap to give people an idea of like what's being worked on right now versus what might be worked on after. So you kind of have an idea of what will come first. Like, what do you think about this in terms of like companies feeling that pressure to kind of keep their community informed on what's going on in the background? What are your thoughts on this?
But they just need to try and not give too many timelines they can't keep. If anything, try and keep the word timeline or dates out of it unless you know you can hit that mark, because that could be a problem. Other than that, I mean, new features is always good. I mean, I'm not into crypto toys yet, but I am going to buy one just for the fact of you guys. But at the same time, I think it's too early for me. I'd like a marketplace. I would like all that in place. I've had too many soons in my life with Veve at this point. I'm like willing to wait, but I'm not willing to wait for another company to start up and get all that and then jumping too early, say.
It's still very early, right? I mean, they minted 30,000, for example, Star Wars Cryptoys, and they don't have a marketplace like you mentioned. So I understand a lot of people would prefer, and it makes total sense to me, to stay on the sidelines and watch it transpire and let them actually deliver more app functionality before starting to put in. You know, it's not so easy to be participating in every single crypto project. You only have so much funds for this kind of stuff. So it makes sense that you got to balance that a little bit. And I can understand why you would wait on that. Joe and I, the moment we heard of Star Wars, we felt like this was a project we were going to track. No different than McFarland. We heard McFarland entered into the space. So definitely, I agree with you, though. If you're going to make a timeline, we know from Veve, don't miss it because the community does not forget.
Yeah.
They will remember, and they will let you know that will be the case. I was playing around with McFarland today. Like I was on the app and I decided to like just post to Twitter. Like it has a button that you can like show them. I have many more collectibles than this. I'm actually top 100 on the leaderboards here. But I dropped 3 of them down. You know, I got my Spawn, I got my Dragon, and I got my Superman. And I just posted to Twitter. I thought it was kind of cool. What do you think?
I still got my Spawn, but it's in my Veve wallet.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Not really. No, I don't. Can you remind me?
Do you remember the digital toys? We got the digital toys, right? We've done that whole shaboodle with the digital toys. And the first Spawn NFT, do you remember? Well, that was around... Well, at the time, like I'd ordered the toys.
Oh,
so I think
right.
You got to post me the toys, right?
That's right. That's right, yes.
So at the time, it was... I got the Spawn NFT, went through all that hassle to get it and everything. And then I think it was around the time when I started getting interested in the Mutascan.
Okay.
So at the time, I'd been checking my Veve wallet on a Mutascan, and I don't know how, but somehow when they asked for the wallet address, I put my Veve wallet in.
Oh my god!
Next minute, my NFT's gone, and I remember asking you like at the time, like, can you help me out with this? And then customer service, they couldn't have been any better, right? And then they helped me out of it, and they're like, well, we definitely sent you it. It's gone to this address.
Yeah.
Next minute, I looked, and it's my Veve address. I was like, how did I even do that?
Did you contact Veve because maybe they can send?
No.
I think it's worth. Yeah.
I did contact Pudding Cheeks. And
what do you say?
Said it would be possible to do it. They'd probably ask you for a bit of gas. But then at the same time, I'd been through all that shenanigans. And by the time it had got through it all, I was just like, I'm just going to leave it where it is. So, worst case, it was my mistake. Like,
you know, I wouldn't give up on that yet. Mistakes as part of the growing. We actually did a video on this. I did a video on this yesterday. As part of the growing pains of Web3, things like this are gonna happen, right? Mistakes are gonna happen. The nice thing though is that I'm pretty sure the Veve's wallet is compatible with Polygon. I think. I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
so. If you just quickly, if you make yourself a MetaMask wallet, do you have one?
Yeah.
Perfect. The gas fees are cheap. They're like 10 cents. That's all they are. You reach out to customer support from Veve. I have a feeling that they can help you out with that, and I think it's worth it because you deserve it, right? You're owed it.
Yeah.
10 cents of gas fees. I don't even think Veve will charge you. They'll probably just send it to you and that's it.
I
But
mean,
that's
if,
a
I mean,
Mhm.
if we do eventually ever get to a VV verse, it'll be there waiting for me.
put
That's
your
one way of looking at it.
potentially
But
maybe you might because we know that Veve verse is Unity compatible, and we know
yeah,
that the McFarland ones are also Unity compatible. So there's a chance. So, anyways, I'll leave it up to you what you got to do. But part of the growing pains of Web3, if things exactly like that,
yeah,
you give the mistaken wallet, and then unfortunately, at least in your case, there's a chance. It's kind of hard because you have to rely on Veve, but it is possible that you might make a mistake so bad it might be like to a wallet that you don't even know who the person is,
well,
and then you have no chance, right?
it's like before I ever got to VV. I'd never done any of this before. None of it before. I learned all of this after VV, and then I'd learned MetaMask after VV. I'd learned OpenSea, everything else. I've learned all of that after VV.
Yeah.
So I can still find OpenSea buying drop heads still a pain today, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Even just getting drop heads sometimes, like changing the fees over and everything else, changing the money over to different currencies and everything else.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. And I think I made a video yesterday on how I mean, in many ways we need a company like McFarland to lead the space, right? Like we need somebody to say, you know what? Because all these other companies that we track are saying, forget it. We want to bring in the masses. We're going to make it so easy that your grandmother can buy it with her credit card, right?
Yeah.
McFarland took a little bit of a different approach. I made the video yesterday. We learned a big lesson thanks to McFarland because people were having all sorts of problems. And I was in that video. I basically argued that we need a balance. We need companies like Veve that want to bring in the masses and will be the custodian, but we also need companies like McFarland that are willing to push the envelope of the future and start showing and teaching people, giving them an incentive to learn Web3 and understand having your own wallet, having private keys, not that. So I think your story is very similar to many people out there. I want to give a shout out to Mario. He went to Comic-Con. He gave us a shout out. I think he has his own YouTube channel. I think 56 subs. So if you want, go on Twitter. You can give him a quick follow there. And thank you for the shout out at Comic-Con. I guess he had a blast. We couldn't. Joe and I made it to Decon in November, but we're not going back this year for any events. So I don't know. Are you planning to go to any events?
Well, we're hearing that the one over your end is going to be December time.
Yeah.
And we've heard nothing about an English one.
Okay.
So I have no idea. And the last English one was a good event with the people, the community, but the event itself was very lackluster. Like I lapped the event in about an hour, if that, and it was a 2-day event.
Okay.
In comparison to your event, it was a million times better. Your one.
Interesting.
I mean, the
yeah.
after party, the people, they made the event. And,
Yeah.
and in one aspect, you could probably get closer to the CEOs than you probably could at your event in certain spots. So it had its differences.
The team was very busy at the event that I was. I mean, there was a lot, but you said the community was there. Like I felt like I was talking the whole time. And that's why people love these events so much, right? But yeah, on the flip side, if it's not busy, you get a lot more intimate discussions with the team, and who knows, what kind of information you may get. Shout out Dino, who did a Twitter space today about the McFarland details. They are out. I didn't retweet it, but there will be a drop on July 27th, and this will be the Todd Batman. Todd Batman's being dropped on McFarland. All you need is 5,000 XP. So if you bought one collectible and you held it in that wallet, you would be able to access the whitelist. So make sure if you do have it and you want to go for it, you check it out July 27th at 12:30. It'll open up to the XP holders. And also shout out Omi Daily Burn, who just basically said, check out Rootless Girl, because, Rootless Girl, we love data here, right? So she has all the data on her website. So shout out to her. And just very quickly, Veve's news, there wasn't much, but they were all over Iron Man. We're going to talk a little bit about Iron Man today. People are posting like crazy. They've wrapped that now on Comic-Con, and we do have a couple more comics. Do you still go for comics? You can go for this one? I see sometimes you got the Juju, right?
At the minute, I mean, when I first got into Veve, I always went for the comics, because the comics I always see had the real value. You could put that against something in the real world, if that made sense. And recently I've started to change that a bit, because I've been making short content with collectibles a lot. And then I've noticed that in the middle of that, I've started to collect more collectibles, because they have actually started to do better in the market as well. like with comics, some of the secret rares I've got, they've been sat on the floor of 50 gems, and I couldn't sell it for 50 gems for nothing. Whereas collectibles, they seem to be, if you do list something, they seem to still move. Whereas the comics in certain places do seem to be a bit stale. I mean, it's probably down to all the edition sizes, because now, why would you stack a 30,000, 60,000 comic when you can stack a 7,500 comic or a 5,000 comic?
Yeah, I mean, and now they even have the 1,000 mint comics. We saw that over the weekend. They dropped 3 of them, right? I mean, that's going to
Yeah,
be another cool video topic on how this changes the value of ASM 252. For the
yeah.
longest time, it was the only comic that had 1,000 mints. Now it has to share that space with 3 other comics. What does this do to the value of that? Does it make it less valuable now? I don't know. What do you think?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No problem.
1 second.
Because yeah, like ASM 252, like Joe and I remember we made a video on it a while ago, and we thought that it was scarce, and we predicted that as time went on, you would have more and more comics with lower mint numbers, and then all of a sudden 1,000 mints maybe doesn't feel that scarce after all. I'm just curious to know what you think about that. Do you think that's going to hurt the value of ASM 252 now?
Well, I actually brought one of the Avengers comics. I
Nice.
don't know why, but I went to an event a couple of days ago in London
Okay.
with a couple of the people from Veve we'd met over the years. So obviously last year we went, and again we went this time. And then I kind of FOMO'd into it because we were having that talk about the rarities and how big these comics. And we all thought they were cheap. I mean, there was 1,000 editions, and I think the floor on that one at the time was 120. And I thought that was cheap. And I brought it at 120. It's now 100, I think, in the market. So, but yeah, the lower editions is definitely playing a factor on the bigger comics. I mean, I'm trying to think of the one I've collected. I collected 20 copies, and off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of the comic. And then
Yeah,
ever
you have
since
too many of them.
yeah, and ever since these comics have started coming, I've started to sell them off bit by bit and try and stack the
Yeah.
Hulk comic for 7,500 editions or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting concept, and we'll continue to track it and see if VV continues maybe on special events to continue to drop 1,000 mints comics. But and if you're going to go for the drop, they do have this new Avengers coming out. They got the first appearance of the Spot. I don't even know who that is, but they got another Spider-Man coming out. So if you're going for drops, be prepared for that. Okay, so today's topic. Before the video, we talked a little bit about what we want to talk about today, and you feel like it's a hot topic right now because Iron Man just came out. Everybody's so excited. Arguably one of the best quality collectibles on the app. And it's currently trading at 156 gems. And there's 3,555 of them, leading to a market cap of 554,000. Now, I do market cap analysis a lot, and that's a pretty good market cap for today's numbers. So it did perform fairly well compared to other market caps in today's environment when a drop happens. But then you go and you look at the Golden Moment collectible. That's at a market cap of like 1.8 million, trading at 133. There's like 13,000 mints of those. And then it begs the question, like, what's better? An FA Iron Man Golden Moment or the actual realistic looking one animated with sound? So since you mentioned to me before you don't have either of them, if you had to buy one, which one would you buy?
So for me, I think it's the most easiest decision. I think it's going to be the second one. Even though FA is really important, the second one is what you think of when you think of Iron Man. You don't think of a Golden Moment statue. You think of Iron Man in the suit, and then it's got the animation. I mean, there's like 4 different animations there in one. So it's got that to it as well. And then the colouring, even the detail, down to the detail, it's a lot more crisper. And I just feel that this time it should have been the FA, but obviously it's not the FA. But does that now affect the FA, what we got, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, part of me feels that new users, if they come in, I don't know what their mindset's going to be. I mean, we know a lot of people on Veve right now, they're really big into FAs. They believe in first on blockchain. They believe in first on Veve, first, NFT from a premium licensed collectible, company. And part of me is starting to think that the new users that come in, the new wave, is not necessarily going to value that as much as utility. We know that with the Veveverse supposed to come out, hashtag soon, we don't know when, but when it does come out, they want to make it interactive, and that's going to be interactive socially with people, but also interactive with collectibles. Are these animated collectibles with sound going to have the abilities within the Veveverse through Cavernous, because it has a skeleton for being animated? Are you going to be able to do some fun stuff with it that's going to give it more utility? Or is it going to be more fun to use because maybe in January 2024, when the Vision Pro comes out, people are going to be looking for cool experiences. Are they going to prefer to have this animated collectible over just a statue, such as the golden moments? Now, on the flip side, someone could argue that maybe someone wants the golden moments because it was from the original sets that Disney provided. They have, at this point, there's geo-referencing happening and geolocation happening, so that in my room here, I can keep it in one spot, and anybody who puts my glasses on will always see it there, like with paintings and art. But I just feel like the more utility a collectible can have, the better off it's going to be long-term. And on top of that, I mean, not everyone agrees with me on that, but on top of that, you don't even have the scarcity with the golden moments. There's a lot of Iron Mans with the golden moment. So the only thing that's going to give the golden moment the value at this point will be the fact that it is the first Iron Man on the app and pretty much anywhere. And secondly, it is a golden moment. And I think that people, when they hear the word golden moment, automatically they think it's better. I don't know if that's going to last forever, because it's the first series that Disney released on Veve. That may eventually fade. And I think as there's more and more utility, and maybe the Veveverse gives this Iron Man some more utility, they might be more attracted to this one instead. Do you think that now, as you mentioned, do you think that people will start selling their golden moments to go for real versions of the same golden moment, whether it be, let's say, an Elsa? Like when the real Elsa comes out, people start thinking, you know what, I'm just going to sell my golden moments because they're just statues and go for these. What do you think?
I mean, I think it definitely varies on the collectible itself. Because obviously this Iron Man couldn't be any crisper if you tried. It looks great. I think that's the reason for it. Whereas in comparison, does the golden moments look so great? I mean, in name, they sound really great. And with Veve users, we've held golden moments on a pedestal for so long. I mean, with the partners statue, I mean, that's a great statue. That is an amazing piece. But when it comes to the two Iron Man, I mean, from a buyer's perspective, if I was to come into the app, I'm 100% going to buy the other one. 100%. It's not even a little choice. So
Yeah.
lower editions, animated, better looking, and it's what you think of.
Well, I remember when I would show my friends the Veve app, and I would always love using the lightsabers. The lightsabers are animated. They come down, you click a button, and it comes out. So I would often take photos of my friends. I'd ask them to stand kind of with their hands like this. I'd put the lightsaber in their hand, and I would take a photo, and they would always love it. Or a video of it actually coming out with the sound, right? So I feel like Iron Man might be another selling piece, bringing in new users. When you want to show your friends something real cool, you're going to want to show them this collectible, and that you may want to buy. Literally, you might want to buy this collectible just to show other people the app when you want to talk to your friends about it. I think this is way more interesting to show somebody than the golden moment. They're not going to appreciate it the same way. It's true. We put it on a golden pedestal, the golden moments, right? Like it may become slowly overvalued as time goes on if Veve continues to come out with high quality collectibles, especially if they come out with utility to their collectibles. Do you think that people on Veve in general are just conditioned to care about FAs, and that wider space just doesn't care the same way? What do you think?
Well, I know definitely in Veve, we're all conditioned for that. I mean, even mint numbers. I mean, who made up the rule that was going to matter? I mean, it does matter on certain comics and stuff, but then they don't exactly have a mint number attached to the bottom, right? But obviously, first edition, stuff like that matters. So there is a part where that does matter, but then the mint numbers on the collectibles, why does that matter? Just because you've got mint number 100, why does it matter? But we're conditioned to believe it matters. And then the market tells us it does matter because it makes a difference. If you get a 2-digit mint, you know you're going to get double the floor of what you were going to get.
Yeah.
So, and then a lot of people that are going to keep that to hold in their collection do want that. So when it gets to the Veve verse, they can say, well, I've got mint 41. So
Yeah.
my collection's stronger than yours, even though it's the same item. But yet mine collection's still going to be better than yours because... But does it really matter? I mean, does it really matter? I mean, for me, for a comic, for instance, so if I'm buying a comic, I'm always going to pick the 4-digit. Even though, like I just said, it really don't matter. But if there's a 5-digit and a 4-digit, I'm always going to pick 4-digit. Even if it's £1 more. It's just, well, $1.
Yeah.
It's just always going to be the way.
Yeah, I completely get your point. It's so true because we know that in some of the, like, you know, physical collecting, the lower it is. I mean, in the blockchain world, the idea is that it was minted first because it's lower on the blockchain. But we know with Veve that's not even necessarily the case because I don't think you can actually backtrack it to Go Train anyways. So
it's all a bit lost. It's all a bit lost around there somewhere.
Right, but I feel like in the absence of utility, these things matter more. Right, so because there's no utility, people will need to find ways to make the collectibles different. And the mint numbers, obviously, it does have history, and we know for sure the market doesn't lie. We know the lower mint numbers are doing better. However, when there's utility, they would all essentially perform the same. Now, with that being said, we do have projects like, for example, you know, So Rare or you know, or even McFarland. McFarland has it that if you have a lower mint number, you're going to get more bonus points to like your MCP, right? And I think Veve has something similar now. I think it's the top 5% that gets extra.
They've got a couple of different ones. They've got one for comics as well. And
right. So if you introduce things like a leaderboard system and lower mints are worth more, now it really does make sense. There's actually a tangible difference. But the kind of money that people are paying a premium for to get some of these low mints, and we're talking sometimes like triple the price of the floor or more, you know that these people really really don't care about any kind of leaderboard utility. It's really just the value of it and the belief of the community that this is worth so much more just because it's so much lower on the blockchain. So it's a pretty interesting topic. Do you have any final thoughts?
Plus, everyone has different wages. Everyone has different buying points and different risk. Some people don't want to risk as much as other people are willing to go in. So that also plays into all of it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I think there's definitely a place for both. I mean, the statue itself looks really nice. But again, if you're going to show someone a collectible, it's going to be the other one. It's just 10 times better. So
yeah, there's no denying that. The quality is top notch on that one. So we want to know your thoughts, guys, as well. Everybody watching, I want to know your thoughts. Make sure you let us know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you believe that people on Veve just care about FAs like more than the average, collector or the other new user that will eventually come into the app? Do you believe that you would prefer to buy the non-FA Iron Man because of quality, animation, and sound rather than the Golden Moments one? Even though the Golden Moment one came first and has the FA tag. Where do you stand on the spectrum? Bob Sales has spoken. He says he'd prefer to get the Iron Man that is colored, animated with sound. That's the one that's cool. That one's more fun, right? So
but don't come for me.
Yeah, don't come for him. But you're allowed to disagree though. If you have a different opinion,
I 100% stick by that. 1,000,000%.
Yeah,
you can't argue with that.
Yeah, I mean, I completely see his point. And you know what? And I actually only have the Iron Man that just dropped because I got it on the wait list. If I didn't have it, I don't know what I would do. I personally see your point. I think I almost prefer the one that's more fun, even though the Golden Moment's historic and someone who's been in Veve for a long time. We value the Golden Moments a lot more than probably a new user would. So let us know below your thoughts. And don't forget as well, you got to go to Bob Sales' YouTube channel. You got to give him more subs. He needs more subs. He only has 361 subs. You can also find him on Twitter. You can go on Twitter and do it there. And before you leave and do that, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, hit the bell notification button to get every single video, every single day. We do not miss, and we'll see who gets the first. I mean, you might get, who knows? We'll see you get the first on this video. We'll see if you get
I,
the
I was just thinking that
Yeah.
I'm still gonna have a go.
Yeah, we'll see. And then thank you to all our Superstore VIPs, $2.99 a month to store beside your name, access to our spreadsheets, giveaways. And now we have the Superstar Utility Program. We're proud of this. You get stars every single month. You're going to be put in a raffle at the end of the month. And we're guaranteeing a Superstar Money hat, a Superstar Money shirt, and, of course, very gracious that Cryptoys has donated 5 cubes to give away. Guys, thank you all so much. We appreciate your support. Take care, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Love you.